Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate you clicking on my video. Whether you're a subscriber or this is the first time you've seen me, I just really appreciate your time. So today I kind of feel a little bit giddy and I don't know why, because it's really, is it a big deal? I don't know. Would you feel like it was a big deal? Seven Sisters is having Leading Men Fiber Arts doing a little like pop-up thing at their place. So any excuse for me to go to Seven Sisters, right? And a chance to look at and touch and feel more of the Leading Men Fiber Arts yarn than what Seven Sisters has already. So I'm kind of excited. I fangirled the last time I saw the guys, Steve and Andy are their names, at Midwest Fiber Fest. And so I'm kind of looking forward to getting a chance to chit chat with them a little bit more maybe, and had some questions about yarn dyeing this time, actually, like some real educational stuff maybe. So I look forward to that. So that's later on today. I kind of feel like a little bit anxious. I've got a couple of little things to share with you, I guess. So I'm not sure how much of a video seeing them at the pop-up thing is going to actually be. So I'm filming some other stuff while I have the time to share some other things about what's going on with me. So one of the things that I am going to talk to them when I'm there is I hanked up one of these. This is their sport weight called Masquerade. And it's just beautiful colors. I just love it so much. You guys have seen this. I've talked about it before. If I am not mistaken, it is the first like fancy yarn that I actually bought. Now I've got the baby alpaca in that purple and white that I found at a local consignment store where the lady had a booth and she had an alpaca farm and made this alpaca yarn. And that's beautiful. That was my first like hank of yarn. But to actually, I don't know, Leading Men yarn is just gorgeous. I just love it so much. And so it just, that I kind of feel like this was my first fancy yarn. So I do want to talk to him, ask him a couple of questions about it. I am working with it. As you know, I said I had caked some up, so I'm down to this much. I'm going to test their knowledge to see if they know what yarn it is, because I don't know that it's one that they carry currently. And so yeah, so that was this one here. I've got them tied together to hang up. So, and that was one of the other things I was going to tell you guys about. My yarn hanks keep falling off the wall. Look how gorgeous. I just love that. I just have them up here with those silly little 3M things where you peel the sticky off and it leaves a little tail hanging down beneath the hook. So after you're done, you know, you've taken your item off of the wall, you can just pull that and there's no damage to the wall. The ones that I've got and the ones I've been using are just not heavy, or not strong enough for the weight of one of the hanks, or usually one of the hanks is fine, but it's when I put them together like this that the hooks don't like it. So I think I'm going to work on some sort of a peg board set up here. So I look forward to getting that set up, and you know, I'll come in the morning and stuff is on the floor. And so I try to change things up and lighten the load. And so I've hanked some, caked some things up. See, I'm all nervous. I've caked some yarn up and I wanted to show that to you as well. So the first one I'm going to show to you is, it is one weight of Superwash Merino wool that is 420 yards. This one was one of the Yarn Bee clearance ones, as you can see. I'm not sure how many seasons ago I may have gotten this one, but it's not showing up very, here's a better color of it. It's kind of like a gold. It's called Aged Gold. I crack myself up when I do that. I did not know that name before I read it right now. But you can see like this purple line through there. It's kind of like there was a rust spot or something. There was one spot in the hank where it was all across. What's going on with my coloring? It's cloudy outside, so the coloring's weird. So I'm sorry if it fades in and out of weirdness. But there was something weird going on with this. I thought for a moment that I should maybe wash it before I put it into a cake, but I wasn't in the mood to stop my momentum, so I caked it up anyway. It doesn't smell too bad. It's not like super obvious that something's wrong with it. So we'll see when I start working with it, as I start to pull it out, if I don't like it enough, or if that purple adds a little zing to it, or if it's actually a problem. The next thing I will show you is I have 3 of these, and I did not remember until I pulled it down from the wall to start putting it into a cake that this is alpaca. This color is called Periwinkle Paradise, and like I said, I've got 3 of them. It's a very pretty, like purple and blue with, there's some browns as I turn it around over here, and then these are kind of like some, where the brown gets sort of like a really light orangey. There's a little bit of it right here. So these are 185 yards, and it suggests a 4mm hook for it. So it is a size 2, and it was, I got my numbers all mixed up on what inventory I have, and so that's another reason why I want to get a pegboard set up so that I can more easily just look and see how many 1s I have, how many 2s I have, things like that. So anyway, I got 3 cakes of this and forgot that it was baby alpaca, and it's super duper soft. And so I just caked it up to get it off the wall, and then was like, ooh, I remember you. The next one I did was, I had planned to use this, and so that's why I caked it up, but then I changed my mind, and I'm kind of glad that I did. It's the project that I'm working on from the Leading Men, Hank, this guy here, called Masquerade. But this was one of the, I don't want to take it out. See, I always put my labels in when I cake something up. I always do that so I can remember what colorway, what, you know, washing instructions, what brand, all that good stuff. And so this is one of these. The colorway was Coastal, but all the rest of the specs here are the same. And so this is a really nice one, Superwash Merino, 75% merino wool and 25% nylon. So I really liked the idea of using this. Like, I got started with it and then thought, like, the pattern that I'm working on, I wasn't going to like it in that pattern. So I just finished caking it up and put it to the side. But like these ones start with like a light gray. I'll try to see here. Like this light gray and some dark grays. That was the first one of this set. And then you had another gray that was a little bit darker, and then another gray that was a little bit darker, and then it ended up on this blue that has a little bit of green in it. So because it's so dark, I really wanted to get the right pattern for it. And I'd been looking at like shawls that are done in an ombre, just like this. So I think that'll be perfect, a better idea than the one that I'm working on. The next 2 are ones that I dyed, and so they're just super pretty. And this is the one that was the baby alpaca that got super duper fuzzy. And maybe alpaca is just meant to be that, isn't it? I don't know. It's still really, really soft, and I like the way the colors turned out. And I like seeing Hanks in a cake after the fact. It kind of gives you a different vibe on what the color play is. So I like that one. And this is, again, I don't want to take it out. It is, I think it is, it's a sport weight. So, oh, okay. And then this one was lots of fun. This is one of the ones that was my favorite that I dyed with the Kool-Aid and other flavored drink mixes. It's the Superwash, 75% Superwash Merino and 25% nylon. This is the, I'll try to open it up here, the Felici. So that is a really great base if you want to play with some dyeing, or, you know, use the yarn that they've already dyed up at Knit Picks. That's the Felici yarn. It's really, really soft. It's really, really fun. So that was the end of what I caked up there. I still have all of this that was from my yarn crawl. That'll be caked up at some point, not immediately. The rest of the ones that I dyed from my flavored drink mixes are down here. And then my jar, and then the minis are up here. But the jar that I got, I started to second guess having gotten the smaller one, and I told myself to go back to Goodwill and see if they still had the bigger one. And I was actually walking through Walmart with my husband, and they had the bigger one, and it was still only $10. It was less than $10. It was 9 something. So with the lifting of the lid on this one, it's just glass on glass. And so I had a wild hair to put a hot glue bead around the lid where it was touching the cardboard insert. It came packaged like this so that it wouldn't break and crack. And so I thought I would be fun. I thought I'd be cute and glue that to it so that it would not be glass on glass anymore. And because my pickle jar had this cute little label, I decided to go ahead and add that to my jar. So this would be dedicated to anything that is 80% merino and 20% nylon. I can mix and match with any other yarns. It doesn't just have to be the Tangled Poets. So yeah, they've been making American-made glass since 1905. I thought that was really important to me. And so that's happy. So I just did the gluing before I came on video, and it's not really sticking. I mean, it's sticking. It's not going to stick forever, but it's fine for now, you know, and I'll get to working on putting those over into this later. And then what else? Oh, I know. I wanted to share with you that my granddaughter, I had made this pillow and it was not working out. Here, let me grab it. So many of you may remember or not, the video I made for this blanket, this pillow cover, with this red heart with love stripes. And these are supposed to come across and look kind of cute and secure like this. And I made them way too big and I didn't care to change it. And so my granddaughter plays with it like a backpack. So I thought I would insert that picture and show you because she's just so darn cute, and I haven't showed her to you in a while. She's grown quite a bit. I did want to show you the yarn that I was talking about, the alpaca yarn from that alpaca farm lady. As far as I understand, they left the little consignment store place because they had gone out of business. So I don't know what happened, but number one, it's called Unicorn, so you know I had to buy it. And it is 70% alpaca and 30% US merino. So it is 185 yards in one cake, one skein, which turned into one cake. And I've got this and then a little bit more. So this was gorgeous yarn. I was super excited to get it. And I made a hat out of it. I'll try to link the video if I can remember to down below. And I wanted to say thank you for all of the encouragement that I received to frog out one of the projects I was working on that I thought was taking me forever to do. It's from my fingering weight video, and it was a small scarf that I had started with this yarn here. And it's super pretty yarn, but I wasn't feeling the project, and I was only using a 3.25 millimeter hook, and it calls for a 3 millimeter hook. So I already thought I was going bigger. So I've learned since then, and each one of these skeins or hanks is 400 yards of Superwash Merino size 1. And so now that I've got the 3 of them to work with again, it kind of resets the brain on what I'm going to do with that. So let me just show you that one more time. It's very pretty. Alrighty guys, I'm all done with my Seven Sisters trip to go see Leading Men Fiber Arts again. Steve and Andy are just great guys, and they let me talk to them, talk their ear off a little bit. I had some questions for them, which they very kindly answered. Like, I didn't know how much nylon, if you have a product a fiber that is, you know, 75% merino wool and 25% nylon, do you mix that also with, say, an 80-20 blend, or do you just stick with your 75-25s? So no, you can go ahead and mix those. It's not a big deal. That was one question. So it was just really nice to talk to them a little bit. If you guys may have remembered, or maybe you don't, from the yarn crawl, I wanted to do seasons for the yarns that I picked up. I wanted to get 4 yarns that were summer, spring, winter, fall. And what I got on my first stop at Seven Sisters was this one called Ember that is just a gorgeous oranges and reds and browns and yellows. It made me think very much of fall, very Thanksgiving-y or whatever. So I asked their assistants their opinions on putting the rest of the seasons together. So first we grabbed this one for spring. Obviously it looks very, very much like spring, and it's got lots of juicy colors in there. I love it to death. And this one is called Cherry Blossom. let me go ahead and, this one was called Ember, if I didn't say that. And they're 231 yards, 50 grams, 25% Superwash Merino, and 25% nylon. Machine wash, dry, flat, and this line is called Intermission. So the next one we were looking at was going to be for winter, and we were looking at some different blue ones that they had brought with them, but Seven Sisters had this one on their shelf already. And is it cheating? Is it not cheating? You're kind of there to buy from their trunk, if you will. That's why it's called a trunk stop or trunk show. But this one happens to be what's called a director's interpretation. And I think it's Andy that I was talking to about the colors, said that this is one that was a one-off. And so I'm kind of a one-off myself. So I thought that this would be a good one to get for my winter part. So far I've got, you know, spring, fall, and winter. So we're still looking for summer, and I was just really wasn't feeling the hit for anything that we were seeing for summer. Nor was he. He was kind of standing there going, what should we do for summer? And I said, okay, we'll take the seasons out of it, and if you were just looking at these three, what colorway would you put with it as a fourth color? And we both reached for this one at the same time. So this is going to be my grouping. I don't know how exactly it's all going to lay out. I was trying to do speckled solid, changing color, you know, whatever. The blue is not solid. The blue does have some different blues in it, so I think that's really cool. I think that's really nice. I love the aspect that, you know, it's kind of got that wintry look still. So yeah, so I'm super happy with how my season's color choices are going to turn out, thanks to my assistance from Lady Man Fibers. So I was still looking around, and it was funny because I was noticing colorways online that, so like for example, I'm working with a colorway called Masquerade. They don't currently have that one anymore. It's a little bit older, I suppose. So I asked him, I tested him actually. I asked him, both of them, they were sitting there, I said, do you mind if I test you? And they said no. And I pulled out the colorway that I was currently working on right now, my whip. And they both knew and said in unison, that is called Masquerade. And so that was really fun. So I saw one of these sizes of the Masquerade, and this is 92 yards, 20 grams of the 75% merino, 25% nylon. And so it was funny to see the Masquerade on their shelf in this color, but not in any of the other sizes, because it was one that was from a little while ago, I suppose. But this one is called, so I wanted to buy, these are $7, these little minis by themselves. And I really, really liked this colorway, so I had to get it. It's called Shantae You Stay. And it really reminded me of my Arco Iris, what's it called? It's a Malabrigo. It's called Iris Arco or something like that. I'll have to look when I get home and insert a picture. But the colorway is just really, really pretty. And I thought, you know, I'm all about my pickle jar right now, and this will go with my pickle jar yarns. So that was an easy choice. I thought that was really pretty. And then the last thing that I got from them that I've been eyeing kind of for a while, and I've talked about it before, the whole reason why I was getting those minis was because of the price point for this package, for this grouping. But I've really been wanting to get a gradient yarn working up. And I know I just told you that I caked up the coastal tones, the tonal ones, those little smaller ones that I got from Knit Picks. But this was on their shelf and I just couldn't pass it up. So I'm trying to get you to, you know, I thought I'd sit outside, it'd be so gorgeous, and it is. It's a really, really nice day, even though it was storming horribly this morning. But I don't know that the colors are coming out so nicely, so true. It's called All the Way to the Bank, and I work in the banking industry, so that's kind of funny to me. And so the gradient is just so absolutely beautiful. It starts from this nice pale green all the way to this dark one here. I'm going to take my camera different and see if you can see it a little bit better. There we go. Oops. Look how pretty. I really thought that was gorgeous. It's not really giving you, here, can you see any better? I don't know. Trying something new by filming outside like this at the park. Kind of a impromptu thing because it's a nice day and I wanted to sit outside. So yeah, very, very nice. They had some pinks and some blues and some browns that were in all this gradient. And so just a very, very nice colorway. I went back a couple times trying to decide which one to get, but had my hand on the green the entire time. So there you go. That's my haul. That shows up really well. That was my haul. Here's all my goodies. I even thought that would fit with this. Yeah, nice. No, we're gonna stick with a gradient. That's why I specifically got it. Okay. Alrighty guys, so I always have my phone set up this way and I know that the lens is on this side. So all through this video, because I had it propped up on something, the lens was on the other side, so if I wasn't looking at the right camera, I'm sorry. I had a great day today shopping on the Seven Sisters trunk stop with the Leading Men Fiber Arts, and I got to meet Michelle for the first time, the owner of Seven Sisters, and so that was a great pleasure. She's a really nice lady, and yeah, it was really great to finally meet her. So okay guys, that's all I got for you today. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Alrighty guys, that's my video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for sitting with me. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I hope you'll come back and see me again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.